Just now. Hi. So it looks like the internet's working and we're all set and ready to go. So before I get started today, just a couple of quick announcements is that we did get the multimeter probes back in stock for any of you who are interested in those. So we got these multimeter probes back. We got almost 200 of them. They're $4.99. They're the same multimeter probes that I use. 20 amp probes. I'm not saying that you should test and see that they actually work at 20 amps, but yeah, they are here. And we also got some ultrasonic cleaners back in stock here, the newer version of the Crest. We've got 10 of the P500Hs sitting behind me, and that is that. So with that said, let us get on to some board repair. So today we've got an 820-3476 that is dead, and it looks pretty clean. And I'm actually trying something new today. I can't really show you with this camera angle, but what I did is I soldered I'm sick and tired of these MagSafes that I buy dying all the time. So what I did is I just soldered the wires from it to my power supply. So apparently all the one-wire circuitry for the green light to turn on is not located in the bulky part of the charger. It's located in the tip of the charger. So the only wires here are power and ground. So I actually hooked that up to my power supply, and the really cool thing about it is A, I don't have to go through all these crappy-ass dying MagSafe chargers on a regular basis, but B, I can see the amount of amperage being used at any given time. And just like you have those USB amp meters for the iPhone, which are pretty useful because the USB amp meter allows you to see if it allows you to see how much power is being used, so you can start associating faults with amperage uses. So the cool thing about that is you can tell dropping 1,100 drop frames. Holy shit! Fucking Time Warner, you bunch of pricks. All right, let's try lowering bitrate here. Lowering bitrate is down. Yeah, lowering bitrate down to 5. Does that stop it? Oh my god, that doesn't stop the bleeding. Oh my god, we're bleeding frames here. Okay, 3 megabit per second. Can you do 3? Piece of shit internet connection. Fuck, piece of shit internet connection. This is $460 a month for this internet after tax. $460! Wow, we're dropping frames at... Yep. This is a joke. You gotta be kidding me. 3 megabits still dropping frames on a 20 megabit connection. Jason, are you downloading porn and torrents or something? Can you turn off the porn downloads on the... Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, let's try 2 megabit. 2 megabit. Can we have 2? Holy shit. Move less. Stop the bandwidth. Yeah, I gotta... so anyway, so the cool thing here is with the iPhone, what a lot of people do is once they figure out the cause of a problem or what the fault was, they read on the USB amp meter how many amps are being used, and then they start to associate in their minds when this many amps is being used, this is the problem that the phone has. And it's the same thing I do with diode mode. So when I'm checking backlight on, let's say, a MacBook Air, if I get 0.569, I know the switch trace of the LED driver is bad. If I get 0.546, it's good. If I get 0.497 or 45, I know the feedback V is blown. If I get 0.2, the LED driver is bad, and if I get below that, there's something wrong with the connector or a capacitor shorted to ground. So I'm going to start doing that with these boards, and I'm going to start trying to build up a little bit of a table in my head as to which problem corresponds to what level of amps being used at, and I'm set it to 18.5 volts so we can see. All right, so we stopped dropping frames. So just to be clear, my $460 a month internet that I pay for just so I can fucking stream only works at 3 megabit. 4:42 p.m., August 8th, 2017. Fucking piece. This stuff is just maddening. It's like absolutely maddening. Because it's one thing to notice that what you want is a total ripoff. It's another when you actually pay the ripoff price and still don't get it. Let's see. Can I go back up to 8 before we start so this doesn't look like a pixel? Come on. Yeah. Hi. This is horseshit. Such horseshit. Time Warner. Is your mic also provided by Time Warner? Okay, what can I do to fix this? Are we back? No fan spin. So where do we start? We have no fan spin. What is the first thing that you would do or measure? See how many people pay attention to the videos I put out. Where do we start? What do we do first? Lesson here is to never live in New York. Trust me. Trust me. We're working on that. I'd like... Peace. Oh, donate to get better internet. It's going to be a lot more than that, I'm afraid. Yeah, so it looks like the internet is pretty fucked here. PP Bus G3 hot, someone said. Correct. So if we have a green light on the charger and it's not turning on, the first rail that we're going to check is PP Bus G3 hot. You don't want to have a working PP Bus. If you can't have working internet, you got to at least have that, right? So let me just put on my microscope. Man, leaving New York City is a dream of mine. I got a list of places I'd like to go. One of these days. One of these days. One of these days, I will leave this city in the dust. And its crap-ass internet and agitated, phony-ass people and fuck-ass bullshit, high taxes on everything, and yeah, it'll all be in the past. Your latest video, you said, I completely understand that the entirety of what I do as a professional will be gone and I'll have to find something new. Would you care to elaborate on that? Is fixing stuff really going away that soon? I am not sure 100% because nothing's ever really sure. I just follow trends, you know? So the parts are getting more and more difficult to obtain. The manufacturers are getting better and better at clamping down on people like me getting schematics and board views. The devices themselves are getting cheaper and cheaper to the point where it may not be worth it to have somebody like me do any of the work that I do, and they may actually get more durable with time. I mean, most of this in business is supported by, you know, liquid, drop, and carelessness, and devices are getting better and better. You look at stuff like the Moto G. I mean, the Moto G is something like 170 bucks, liquid proof, drop proof. You know, it's so anyway. So we got PP Bus G3 hot. So what are we gonna do next here? Next, what we're gonna do is check down the line and see what else. See what other power rails we need that may be missing. So let's go over to the page that lists all the power rails here. Lewis repaired boards before it was cool. It's cool? I'm still waiting for somebody to go, wow, that's so cool. Okay, so what do we have next? So we checked PP Bus G3 hot. DCN has to be there, because if DCN wasn't there, you wouldn't have PP Bus G3 hot. Next up is PPVRTC G3 hot. Let's check that one. We're going to check that over here. And let's see what we get. You can still be an employee for Jessa. Ha. Fuck no. Alright, so it looks like we can check that down here. And do you see anything that looks kind of funny over there? You probably can't see anything that looks kind of funny because I'm streaming at 2.5 megabit per second. So you probably can't see shit. It probably looks like just one giant blob of pixels. Makes me sad. I always strive for some good quality.
Do you have a story to bother?
Are you downloading porn? Actually, no, I shouldn't be offended at that. Are you uploading porn? Because you can download all you want. You just got to stop uploading it.
I think that was Jason. Do you have A1278 trackpads tester?
All right, so as you can see, that. So let's see what that measures. With my little pixelated slideshow here. Well, that's an interesting number. 0.3 volts. All right, so the first thing I'm interested in doing is there a short to ground over here? So let's see. I'm going to put the meter into resistance mode and see if there's a short circuit. And there is a 2.3 ohm short to ground. That's not good. So let's see, what could be causing that short? So there's a short circuit on that rail after corrosion got on it. So what's on this section of the board? So it looks like we have some capacitors in this area, some resistors in this area, but they don't go to ground. So these are pull-up resistors. That's not going to be it. We have capacitors in this area. We have the chip that creates that voltage, U1900. And we have the CPU. So what do you think it's going to be with my luck today with everything? So you think my luck is going to be that it's the chip, a capacitor, or the CPU? Look at my caps. They're all covered in flux. Mold on a resistor. It's kind of moldy. It is. I don't know if it's mold necessarily, but it's definitely something. Well, we're going to have to turn on the hot air station to find out, so I might as well get that fired up. I don't think Lewis will work for someone again. Yeah, I've tried that. It doesn't work. If 99 makes a working product, then the OEM surely won't add the extra dollar to make it last forever because they play the rollover game. You never know. I mean, this company is like Motorola, where their selling point is, hey, we're more durable than the next people. You should buy our products because they're so much more durable. People throwing up your home internet prices mean nothing and just pollute the chat that Lewis has commercial internet aren't just apples comparison. Indeed. Now, there are some people whose name I'm not going to mention who bribed the cable guy to not mark the place as a business and to mark it as a residence. So, like, I know somebody that gave the cable dude like $200 and is like, so, this is a residence, right? And it worked. I really should have done that. I would have saved so much money. Why'd you buy a $2,000 camera? Because I want a $2,000 camera. Let's see. Put the board in the oven. No, that's not what we're going to do. That's not how we do here. CPUs generally don't die, so it's probably the CPU. No, they Haswell ones do. Haswell CPUs are little crybabies. Haswells are little pieces of shit in this context. I use a Haswell CPU for my desktop, and it's lovely. The mobile Haswells are just, they are such sissies. Especially in the 3787. It's just inexcusable how sissy they are. You know, granted, it could be that maybe the regulators used in them are particularly bad in quality and consistency. But I have a pile of 3787 boards here just waiting for affordable CPUs. Should I get myself an Arduino starter kit to learn more about electronics, or is there something else that is fun playing with without knowing that much at start? Greetings from Germany, where I have 120 for $30. You fucking rub it in my face, asshole. I would... Yeah, Arduino is a great way because it combines things that electronics with things like programming that are actually going to be somewhat relevant. Whereas again, the stuff that I'm doing, to be clear, it's totally relevant if you want to be a janitor, but if you don't want to be a janitor, then it stops being as relevant. You know, I'm happy, I'm proud to be a janitor for this amount of, you know, for the time that I'm a janitor. I built a good little business for myself being a janitor. I pay my bills, I save up my money. What does this paste do? That is flux, and the flux helps solder flow. And I'm preparing myself for a new chip. Do you know why I'm preparing myself for a new chip before I see if my short is gone? Because I'm assuming the best. For all you bastards that say that I'm too negative, see, these are the things that you don't pay attention to that I do. I'm preparing the new chip to be soldered on before I even check for the short, because I'm assuming the best of this board. I'm assuming the best of my day. I'm telling this board through my actions that I just expected that short to be gone. And by golly, that short is going to be gone. And measure. Hey, 4.4 million ohms. Look at that. See? The power of positive thinking. All right, so now I got to get another one of those chips, right? So where am I going to find that chip? Where am I going to find that chip? If only there was a website that stockpiled all these chips and told me which was compatible with the other, right? Man, if only there was a website out there that stockpiled all these chips and told me what was compatible. I wish. Whoa. Let's see. So I need U1900. Okay, SLG 3N B18CV. And now let's see. Will this work with my 820-3476? See, compatible boards down here. It lists the 820-3476. This is on my website, mailin.repair, and it's only $649. Wow, what a great deal. It's a good thing that I reordered these since I only have 5 left. So let's go and grab a chip, shall we? It's time to grab a chip and put it on this board. Yep, I gotta shill a little bit. Hey, if you're, as I always say, if you don't shill your own products, then who the hell will? I've added a bunch of stuff to the website recently. A bunch of little iPhone parts are there now. I've added a bunch of iPhone and iPad connectors. We're going to be adding a bunch more over the next week or two. And if there's something that you want to see, do let me know. Is your multimeter overlaid on the video? It is. I did overlay it on the video, and I have a little guide on my site if you want to do the same thing for your YouTube videos that shows you how to set it up, what program to get, and I host the software because the company that makes it only includes it on a mini disc, and hell if anybody has optical drives anymore. Hi, I've just diagnosed and almost fixed motherboard of my iPhone. At component level, the short is gone. Thank you for your content. Well, what's keeping you from finishing? Curious. What else is left to be done? Now, unlike the new chips that I'm selling you, because I am cheap, and I don't want to dip into that, because I would never want to steal the chips of my customers, I'm taking my 148 CV from a donor board. Yes, I know. Yes, I'm aware that I'm cheap. It's a personality disorder. A few months ago, I was attending a seminar on EMI, and the speaker mentioned upcoming PCB technology that features built-in caps, resistors, and inductors. Guess how you would repair that? Yeah, see, when I say that I don't know if this is going to be something that my job is going to be around a year from now, or 2 years, or 3 years, it's that type of stuff that drives those statements. Like, it's just technology, you know? You can't be mad at it. But someday, technology is going to be so good that, you're not going to need shitheads like me to do this stuff anymore. Then I'll move on to something else. Lewis, did you see that the guy from the Google memo got fired? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And holy shit, I mean, I feel like this was scripted. This has to have been scripted. Because I'm reading all these comments on Gizmodo, and every single comment on Gizmodo is something along the lines of, this person knows nothing about biology. Wow, look at all these nonsense pseudoscience about biology. Wow, this person's pretending they know about biology, but they don't know shit. Then it comes out, the person who wrote the memo is a Harvard PhD in biology. Oh, man. They done lynch mobbed the wrong dude. They lynch mobbed the wrong guy. That is, yeah. And as I said yesterday in the video on how are you living your life, for him, that's really going to wind up coming down to how he has lived his life. I sincerely hope that he's lived a life of being kind and helpful and, just a worthwhile human being that provided value to people that were either minorities or women. Because if he has, then he's got people that'll stand up for him. And if he hasn't, then it's going to be a really long, miserable several months to years for him. We'll see. We'll see. We're off to a good start, just the fact that the guy has the PhD in biology. We're off to a good start. When you said he was going to fire him, I was doubtful, then I woke up to that shit. Of course he's going to get fired! No, but the thing is, the order was wrong. Because he got fired, then he got doxxed. I thought he was going to get doxxed, then outrage, then firing. I was totally wrong. It was outrage, then firing, then doxxed. So I was a little bit wrong on the order. But I was correct on the timeline, at the very least. Like, I was correct in the fact that the things happened within the timeline that I had said it would. But of course it's going to happen. What do you think? Do you think people are actually going to read what he had to say? Did you think that people were actually going to read it instead of just, emotionally react and say, oh my God, you hate diversity because you criticize the implementation of a policy? No. They don't read. What they do is they do the same shit that they did without history when all the information was only presented in a certain language, which is trust us to translate it for you. We'll tell you what this means. Trust Gizmodo to say what the letter means. Gizmodo, the fucking website, the subhuman pieces of garbage that decided to remove the pictures, the graphs, and the citations included in his document. Because he had cited so many studies, and they were all gone when Gizmodo printed the memo. I wonder why. Such horseshit. Such horseshit. Does this thing turn on? Hey! Fan spin! We got fan spin. So it was using 0.07 amps when there's an RTC problem. That's good to know. 0.07 amps indicates RTC problem. Good to know. Now, the next time I see that, I will go immediately to the RTC section, and we're going to build up a list in my mind. You can be kind and generous all day and realize at the end of the day you were only being exploited. That's true. Again, you got to be nice to the right people, because there's this guy, Bob Brockman, this mix engineer, and one of the best things he taught me and said was that goodwill is wasted on bad people. So you got to make sure that your goodwill is not wasted on bad people. Was he fired for being wrong or for having an unpopular opinion? No, he was fired because he said X. Then Gizmodo and 20 other websites said that he said Y. And then the internet and then Google said, well, Y is wrong and Y is racist and Y is sexist. How dare you say Y? We're firing you for saying Y. But if you read the document, if you actually read the memo, you'll see that he said X. And then the media said he said Y. Now, why did they do that? Because it's really difficult to argue against what it is he said. I mean, you can do it. You can provide studies. You probably can. It's just that requires effort and time and understanding and tolerance. That stuff that they talk about, but they don't really believe in. But so what they do is it's really easy to say, oh my God, did you just say X? I mean, did you just say Y? It's just, it's much easier to straw man it. It's much easier to straw man it. I'm glad you stick to your guns and are always true to yourself. Congrats on 300K. The guy could possibly sue Google for wrongful termination. I hope he does. He broke the holy code of conduct. He had to be purged. Holy code of conduct is infallible and not up for discussion. Do you ever expect your mainly Apple repair channel to go to 300K? Now, I actually thought I was going to have 300 without the K, because I thought about all the repair shops in America and how many may be interested in component repair. I thought that I would get maybe 300 views a video and maybe 300 subscribers. I would say that I have probably like 5 to 10,000 core subscribers that would watch everything I post, and the rest, I don't know if it's just an algorithmic glitch. So I mean, in my mind, I consider myself at 10,000 subscribers, which still is way higher than the 300 I ever thought that we would get. What's your opinion of iFixit tools? Some of them are good, some of them are really good, some of them strip really easily. Depends on which ones. Yeah, so that was fixed. Beautiful. It used to be nice to all people, then let the world sort them out. Things always come full circle. Yeah, I mean, I'm nice from the moment that I meet you. And what I usually do is I let the individual decide whether or not I'm going to continue being nice. So, I start out my conversations with a smile, with a hi, with a handshake, unless, of course, it's a random fan walking into the store staring at me, in which case I pretend they don't exist. But, I start off all of my conversations, besides like the people that come in drooling, which is always kind of creepy, but I start off all my conversations with a hi, a thank you, how's it going, and then I wait for the other person to give me a reason to treat them differently. Even if it's the people you don't have to be nice to. If it's the mailman, the UPS person, the waitress, the garbage man, you got to be nice to all these different people, because the thing is, all these people that you meet on the way up, they're all the people that are going to judge you and stick up for you, or the people that are going to, stab you on the way down. All the people you meet on the way up, those are all the people who are going to be around to defend you and judge you when something like this happens. They welcome all employers to speak their opinion, even if it's an unpopular one. Yeah, bullshit. Bullshit. The fuck they do. And that's the thing. If they had refuted his arguments and said this is why we think this is crap, that would have been great. They didn't even do that. Like the Minister of Diversity and Integrity just said, yeah, I'm not even going to link to these opinions because they're, they purport incorrect whatever. It's like, imagine if like, I just fixed this board, right? So let's say Chris Long said, that's incorrect, that's not going to work. And I say, well, Chris Long, I don't want to, I'm sorry, Chris Long, for using you as an example. You're just the best board repair person I see in the chat here. But let's say Chris Long told me, no, that's incorrect. That's not how you do it. And I said, well, here's my video where I showcase that this is the power rail that's missing, that this is how I figured out that this is the chip that's shorted to ground, and this is the line not being shorted to ground when I remove it. This is me replacing it and it working. And Chris said, well, I'm not even going to link to that because I don't support that. Like, yeah, it's easy to just call something incorrect and just like, I wish I could do that in real life. I wish that I could just say, I have tax papers in here, right? Like this drawer, I got all these, and I'm not going to actually show you because it may have numbers on it that are important. But like this kind of crap, it would be nice if I could take everything in this drawer and just say, yeah, that's incorrect. I'm not even going to link to it because I don't agree with it. Like, no, I'm not allowed to do that. I have to say, well, I have to look up the individual tax codes, then I have to look up what I paid, then I have to look up what I made, and then I have to figure out whether or not the IRS is correct or wrong, or whether the New York State Department of Collections is correct or if they're wrong. I can't just wave shit away by saying, oh, yeah, that's incorrect. I'm not even going to link to your papers, IRS, because it's just incorrect. I can't do that. I need to provide logic, facts, reason, evidence, arguments. I can't do that. I wish I could do that. I wish I could do what the Minister of Truth, the Minister of Integrity at Google could do. Like, imagine if I could live my life like that. That would just be absolutely amazing. That my point. This is a non-story created by the media, and I brought that up in my video that I did on this whole topic. Is this this whole fallacy of, I am going to criticize the discriminatory manner in which you have implemented a diversity policy, and then the media says this person hates diversity. This person doesn't like working around women. Tell me where in that 10-page memo he ever said he doesn't like women. And that says more for you. That says what you are reading into everything, the hatred and the disdain that is in your heart that you are projecting onto other people who've never said it, who've never uttered it, who've never lived it. It's the fallacy. I don't like the way you've made this burrito. I don't like the recipe for this burrito. Somebody says, you hate Spanish food? No, I just don't like the way Chipotle prepares burritos. It's just horseshit, absolute horseshit. Lewis, did you notice that someone started in, why is that distorted? Oh, I had it selected. Lewis, did you notice that someone started a fund for his lawsuit on Google? What? Did you get a new camera? Looks great. No, this is the same camera. I just changed the angle and I got a haircut. Maybe I look less like shit. No, it can't be. It must be the camera angle. So well, show me this. Let's see. Okay. And more fund. Tell me that there is a fundraiser. Holy crap. There is an official fundraiser for this guy. And the official fundraiser has reached $7,700 of 60,000 required. No way. Let's see. So this is James Damore official fundraiser, 7,720 reached. Interesting. 7720. Good attitude and presentation of videos, and how well you're doing it as well as to what you're doing, the content. That's why we're here. Thank you. You forgot Time Warner. I try to forget Time Warner. Chris B is telling me I'm incorrect. I'm incorrect. You don't like burritos? You want to build a wall? You know what? What cool. I don't like bullies very much. I grew up having to deal with all types of bullies, physical bullies, ideological bullies, people that want to make you feel badly for silly reasons, and I'm not a fan of that stuff. Don't like ideological bullies. Oh, lame. This stupid form is broken or something. Ha! Here we go. Beautiful. There. Did it go through? Ah, awesome. It went through. Hey, remember all the stuff I say about charity? All the stuff I say about real welfare, real charity? What is it if you don't live it? Especially when you're dealing with a bunch of people that just want to bully someone. I hope things go well for that guy. We'll see. Julian Assange offered him a job. Wow. That's interesting. That's putting a target on you. Will you do a meetup one day? Nah, it's kind of weird already when people show up at work. It's really weird when people that I don't know show up at work. So I don't think that I would. Lewis is so manly, his beard leaves due to insecurity. Let chat fix more stuff. Let's see, do we have anything else? Are you familiar with the works of Jordan B. Peterson? I'm just recently coming into contact with his stuff, and I have a lot to catch up on. Yeah, the entire concept of self-authoring and going through the emotionally difficult times of your life and writing down where you were, how you got to that point, and that stuff makes a lot of sense. Jordan Peterson makes a lot of sense. I know that he's in some pronouns trouble at the moment. He's in a little bit of pronoun trouble at the moment. What's your opinion on recently leaked way of how Trump talks to the rest of the world with leaders via telephone? Honestly, I don't find anything really that off with it. Like I get it, because like that's the thing when you're talking with other business owners, or you're talking with other people in authority, and you're trying to work things out. That's just kind of how this stuff. That's just how those conversations sound. I didn't find anything particularly, deplorable in it. I would still, I'm still more mad about him saying last year, "Oh, we're gonna find the terrorist families, and you must kill their families." Like, I'm more irritated at terrorist Trump on Fox News than I am at any of the talks that he had. All right, so that's about it for today. Only one thing in the queue that is decent example. The rest of it is just going to be a bunch of dead CPUs, dead GPUs, and boring stuff. That's all going to suck. Anyway, if you are not a fan of ideological bullying, apparently there is this fundraiser over here for James Damore, and yeah, so I gave some. I don't really like ideological bullies. Wasn't particularly excited about looking at the pile-on of like 20 or 30 news websites copying and pasting this anti-diversity title when they clearly didn't even read it to figure out that it wasn't anti-diversity. I don't like these smear campaigns that people play just because I don't like the smear campaigns, and I don't like how they seek to manipulate people. And the thing is, it works. It works so well. It really works well because they know what they're doing. They're pulling the emotional strings. They know, like, if I walk up to somebody and say, if I walk up to somebody and say, this person said that you shouldn't be doing your job because of your genes, they're going to get pissed off. And they're going to be so irritated and pissed off that they're not even going to bother reading the content to see that somebody didn't say that. And that, yeah, fuck all that noise. Anyway, so I'm out of here. That's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something. Oh, there's more chat. I had my window down here.